So pretty excited. Gonna go for a bit of a ride today, riding from Seattle up to Vancouver, British Columbia. Fort 9 is premiering their documentary film about circumnavigating the globe in less than 17 days on a motorcycle. I'm excited. I've got myself a ticket, and I plan to be at the Rio Theater this evening at 6:30 for the premiere. Um, the weather has turned out a lot better than it was anticipated to be. A little over a week ago, it was showing a good chance of snow and freezing mix. The way it is, it's just going to be cold. I do still anticipate getting some rain on the way up and probably on the way back tomorrow, but that's a hell of a lot better than snow or frozen mix. So I'm just starting to get the bike ready. I still don't have a dash, so that's a little bit annoying, and just gonna have to kind of wing it as long as the bike's running okay. The weather for the ride up turned out way better than it was originally forecast to be. It was in the low to mid 40s with sunshine and blue skies. While I knew it probably wouldn't be like this the whole way, a late December ride could have started off a whole lot worse. I know a lot of people opt for heated gear when riding in colder temps, but I've never had any, and I've always just relied on the tried and true method of layering, though I had to learn how to plan for the worst. During my first winter as an all-weather rider, I was invited to a Thanksgiving dinner south of Seattle. I had an old Suzuki GS550 I had picked up when I moved to Seattle a few months earlier. I mostly used it around town, but had taken on a few longer rides. Not really long, but maybe an hour or two. When I saw that it should only be about a 45-minute ride to get a home-cooked meal, I happily accepted the invite. Back then, the only actual riding gear I had was the helmet and a pair of rain-shelled pants. Other than that, I would typically ride wearing a red cotton barn jacket, jeans, and a pair of cheap fleece gloves. When Thanksgiving arrived, it was cold and raining. It wasn't too bad when I left home, but it was pouring when traffic came to a stop in Fife. All I could do was duck walk slowly while the water soaked in. It took well over an hour to get to my destination, and I'm pretty sure that by the time I got there, I was hypothermic. I almost dropped the bike because my body didn't want to do what I asked it to, and I was completely incapable of removing my helmet because my fingers wouldn't work at all. My friend's family helped me get stripped out of the wet gear and fretted over me for the next hour or so. It was hot beverages, dry clothes, and blankets until my teeth finally stopped chattering. Wanting a break from the freeway, I took a side trip to ride scenic Chuckanut Drive. This is the only place the Cascade Mountains reach the Pacific. The line at the border was nice and short. Now, other than a few sprinkles of rain, a bitter crosswind that threatened to take my breath a few times, and some traffic as I approached my destination, it was a pretty pleasant ride. And I'm glad I got to Vancouver when I did, too, because shortly after, the skies opened up. While waiting for the theater to open, Josh from Fort 9 came out and chatted with people in line. After getting in, before the movie started, I was able to chat more with him, Ryan, Connor, and Edwin from Fort 9, as well as Liza and Bagel from Motorcycles and Misfits.
Australia, I think, is a good synecdoche for motorcycling as a whole, because it was minus 7 degrees, and you'd come over these little hills, and the kangaroos for the heat would all huddle in the road. So there'd be like 40 kangaroos in the middle of the road, and they'd run 40 different directions. And in that moment, there's nothing you can do if you're Valentino Rossi or the best rider in the world. It doesn't matter, because it's just a pinball game, and you get lucky or you don't.
still remember the feeling of a kangaroo hitting our leg being lying on the bike.
And to a large extent, motorcycling is like that. Like, we all know motorcycling is dangerous, and it doesn't matter how good of a rider you are, there's going to be an elevated risk associated with it. And there's like a weird tension that every motorcyclist hold, where they have things that they value way more than riding, yet they still ride, and it's super fun and dumb, and they kind of keep doing it, which is something that we, I think, don't have an answer for, so we just kind of laid it out there.
There was a moment, I think it was somewhere in near Georgia, and you were like, screw it, I'm just riding on the shoulder, because it was gridlock, and we're just riding on the shoulder, and you went through a bunch of trash bags, and there was just a big shovel in there, and that kind of bounced up and just missed me, and we were in between garbage trucks and stuff, and that was a really close call where I was like, oh yeah, like, this isn't just for fun, because we were still fresh in the States, so that was pretty scary.
While I was originally hoping for some sort of after party, I had to settle for a nightcap at a nearby cocktail bar before returning to my Airbnb and this chonky cat. Tuesday morning, it was another cold but dry day for the ride home. Having done a number of iron butt days and knowing how tiring they can be, I'm blown away by the fact that these guys were able to do this. I can't thank Ryan and company enough for the ticket to the show, and I hope our paths cross again. For now, though, I have to get back to trying to fix my dash. I feel like the longer I ride without a speedo intact, the less idea I have about how fast I'm actually going. I've got my new bit from Cycle Terminal, so Gadget Rehab is going to take another swing at replacing the pin. Then I have to get back to work on the BMW R100 RS. Lots to do. Lots to do. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd love it if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, anything you can do to help the channel. If you have the means, maybe consider buying me a cup of coffee. There's a link for that in the description down below. But if you can't, I just appreciate the watching. As always, thanks for watching.